Yeah, Padres, that's a good headline there. Help wanted, Padres pitching. Baseball general managers meetings start tomorrow in Scottsdale, Arizona. You can now make trades in Major League Baseball, and the free agent window has now opened to sign players. 140 veteran players are now available on the open market. The Padres situation is this. They're not making an offer to Blake Snell. They're evidently not making an offer to Josh Hader. What they will do effective tomorrow, they can offer a qualifying offer of $20.3 million. Mm-hmm. Now, if a guy wanted to sign that, you'd sign him, lock him in for a year. But by making the offer, it guarantees you if that guy, Snell, Hader, leaves as a free agent, you're going to get draft pick compensation. So that's the next item of business for not just the Padres, but everybody else who might have a marquee free agent out there, a la Ohtani and the Angels. He gets the Q offer. At least they get draft pick compensation if they don't get him. But it's not been a good weekend. You know, we had talked extensively, can they sales pitch Blake Snell to stay here out of loyalty? Do they do that to Josh Hader? It appears the answer is no. Now, Michael Wacha, they declined the 2-year, $32 million option that he had in his contract. He goes back onto the open market, went 14-4 this season, has really strung together 2 good years. The reason they declined it, he's got the constant shoulder woes. They don't want to pay somebody $16 million per season next 2 years if they don't know, they don't think, or if they fear he's not going to hold up. So Wacha goes on the open market. Seth Lugo, who was a number 4 starter, he was a good 1-year rental. He opted out of the $7.5 million deal. Well, they could always go back and sign him, but are you going to sign your 4th guy to a $10 or $12 million per year extension? I don't know about that. And Nick Martinez and the Padres both declined their package. The package would have taken Martinez to $16 million next season. I don't know very many people that offer a 5th starter or a long reliever $15 million. He was very serviceable for a couple of years. He goes on the open market, and now there's a second issue there because he hired you-know-who,
Scott Boras,
to be his agent. I don't think Nick Martinez is coming back. Big rumors everywhere that they are shopping Juan Soto. That's got to do with, obviously, the $50 million reduction in the baseball payroll that the Padres have. New rumor out of Boston that they may have made some calls, including to the Red Sox, about Xander Bogaerts. I don't understand that because he was fairly consistent, very popular, rock-solid, stable guy. Maybe they want to move him as part of this roster cut, budget cut. But who's going to take on a contract that's going to drag him into age 42? Mm-hmm. So Bogaerts evidently is out there on the trade block. And then we got the managerial situation, and it appears they're not going to do any more interviews. They've lost a couple candidates, and evidently they are just circling the wagons back and going to decide this week. Is it Mike Schilt? Is it Ryan Flaherty? Is it Benji Gill? They didn't do much on the outside. They did talk to Carlos Mendoza, Yankee bench coach. That didn't go very far. I was led to believe there might be a phone call to Mark Kotsay. That has not happened. It's really interesting where the Padres are right now. So they are down a total of 5 pitchers by virtue of the 2 free agents and the 3 guys who are opted out. Mm-hmm. And then you got the surgical situations with Darvish and the capsule shoulder situation with Joe Musgrove. So now we're talking 7 pitchers that might not be part of this. I don't know if they're going to reoffer Luis Garcia. So now that takes it to 8. Are they going to pay Adrian Morejon a $900,000 arbitration offer? Now that's 10. That's 10 pitchers that have question marks around the team. I don't know where they're going to go for arms if all these guys wind up going other places. I hate to be the bearer of bad news on Monday, but we're covering the topics on the table, and that is the topic. So I will ask Padre fans to join us on Fans Forum now and get in line. How concerned are you is there a pitching crisis all of a sudden in San Diego? And John Riley says,
and I say that this is all part of the game that they're playing, right? Now, if I'm Seth Lugo, if I'm Michael Wacha, and Nick Martinez, yeah, of course I'm going to turn down those qualifying or those offers. I'm going to go and make more money, or at least make equal to what I was making before. You can't blame the players. The Tony Gwynn situations to take the hometown discount, I mean, those are rare and mostly in the past. But, AJ Preller is always scheming. He's got something cooking. I don't know if it's the pitchers in Japan or Korea, or he's got a couple of dark horse candidates here that he's going to find, not unlike getting Wacha and Lugo last year.
And Luis Garcia and Martinez the year prior.
Yeah. But Luis Garcia, I mean,
Robert Suarez.
Robert Suarez has been tremendous with a few blemishes, but I think it's time to turn the page on Luis Garcia. Thank you very much, Luis. He had his moments, but this whole thing, we knew the way that they were building this, that this roster was built to win now.
And it didn't.
So every year's a new year. Every year's a new team. Now, Preller's got something cooking. I'm sure of it.
Well, he has always been active, and he brings players in from the strangest parts of the globe. So I tend to agree with you. There's got to be a blueprint of guys that he knows, as I say, boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He'll find some guys. But boy, that's a lot of pitchers to have question marks about going to the offseason, trying to hope next season. And the only negative is if budget's going from $253 million payroll down to $250, and you're locked into all these other big money contracts, John, how much money are you going to have to go get guys? Do guys just come to San Diego because it's San Diego? I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe Robbie Snelling, maybe it's going to be his opportunity. Get a couple of young kids that are going to get the major league minimum. He's going to have a few players like that. But, you look at the Cronenworth deal. I mean, that contract is just an albatross, and it seemed unnecessary to offer him that big deal. And his numbers were declining. And then even Darvish we're not sure about because he was injured at the end of the year. So, yeah, lots of question marks. I don't know what's going to happen with this Soto thing. I still think a lot of Padre fans are thinking they're going to go out in a whimper. We're going to have no pitching. We're going to trade away Soto. It's Armageddon. We're going to go back to the Padres from 10 years ago. But I don't think it will. I think they're going to find a way to reload.
Oh, the man of blind faith out in left field. All right, fans forum chat box is open. How concerned are you? Do the Padres suddenly have a pitching crisis?